Howdy YouTube, this is Charles from Our Tiny Cabin Project, bringing to you another episode about cheap, easy, affordable ways to do it yourself off-grid in the early stages. Stay tuned. Hope you enjoy the show. Like I had said, we're going to talk today about a few items that are pretty affordable to help get off the grid as soon as possible. Whether you're an avid camper or you're new into your tiny house adventure and you're building your cabin or tiny house, you don't have electricity yet, you don't have heat yet, but you want to be able to stay for extended periods somewhat comfortably when you're out there working on your cabin, because it might be winter, it might get cold at night, you might be deep in the woods and far off grid. Well, these are some of the items that we bought that helped us out a lot at first, because sometimes you don't have the money to run out and buy generators and solar panels and all that. That's extremely expensive and costly and adds up. Sometimes you can get lucky and find good deals on Craigslist. But other than that, your options are somewhat limited unless you want to. There's a lot of products out there that are on survivalist websites that are just straight out gimmicks that aren't worth your time or money. I'm going to cover 3 items that I think are essential, not only for early stages of tiny house off the grid living, but also great items to own in case of a shit hits the fan scenario. All these items you should probably keep, half of which will, most of these will fit in your car or your bug out bag. First thing I'm going to talk about is for your electrical needs. I found this on Amazon. It is, pardon the dog hair, if you own a husky, you'll understand. This is the All Powers solar panel. I bought this on Amazon for about $30. And it unfolds into 3 panels. It's got little paracord straps on it. So a lot of times if I'm on the kayak, I'll take this on my kayak and use my pad eyes to clip it onto the back of the kayak so I can catch some sunlight and have electricity on the boat for free. That's pretty cool. An electric kayak. It is very simple to use. On the inside, this pocket right here, there's a dual USB port. Now what I do is, yeah, it's great if the sun's out, but what do you do when you want to use this at night? Well, there's several options. I have a little battery pack that you can get them at Walmart, Walgreens, Kmart. They're designed for cell phones, and you can get a 700 milliamp, 30,000 milliamp. I've seen a lot of people use the handheld pocket car boosters, and you just plug it into the USB, set her out in the sun, and start harvesting power. Now this is a 12-watt panel. I haven't tested it with a voltmeter, so I don't know that I'm pulling in 12 watts, but I do know this, that it will charge most tablets and cell phones within a matter of an hour or 2 if it's in full sun. So it's a pretty neat little tool. I highly recommend it. They have gone up a little bit in price. When I bought it, it was roughly about $30. Another product that we bought that we absolutely love for our heating situation, because we don't have the wood stove in yet, we've gone over a couple things. The first thing we tried was a denatured alcohol burning fireplace insert set into a chimenea. The thing that's nice about that is burning denatured alcohol fireplaces, you do not need to worry about venting it, and it's very simple. You buy a chimenea, you put the insert in it, you fill it, you light it, and you're done. Now, the problem with that is in our area, denatured alcohol has gone up in price, and it's about $15 to $17 a gallon, which can get costly considering a fireplace insert only burns for about 4 to 6 hours. And that's on low burn, and it's only putting out about 4,000 to 6,000 BTUs. Now, we bought one, returned it, and then ended up going back to it. I absolutely love it. The Mr. Heater Buddy Heater. This thing is, I was skeptical at it at first because it's plastic, metal, and then you got this wired grate. But this thing actually works amazing. You got a little connector here on the side. It takes these little propane tanks. You can buy an adapter to hook it up to a barbecue grill. We just use the 1 pound tanks for now because we know this is going to be temporary, and as we finish putting in the Dickinson stove. All you do is you screw this on, clicks down, if I don't drop it, click the pilot, light it, turn it on, heats up the ceramic infrared plate, and then you're cooking. This sucker gets warm. On a 1 pound can, this will usually last us roughly, if we're burning it at low, on the low setting, we can get about 5 hours on one tank. We offset that with a electric oil radiator in the daytime when we're pulling in a lot of power from our solar panels. We will hook the oil radiator up and use what's coming off the dump load to run an electric oil radiator. So we primarily only really use this at night when we're sleeping. It's got little mounts if you want to mount it to the wall. It only needs 1/4 of an inch clearance from the wall. The majority of the heat from this does come from the top, so you do want to make sure you have plenty of clearance above and in front. It's spectacular. You can get them on Amazon or at Walmart they're on sale very frequently for around $60 to $70 a unit. And it's maybe weighs 5 pounds, if that, at the most. It's very compact. Our cabin with loft is 116 square feet, and it will keep our cabin in the middle of January in Missouri at a whopping 75 to 80 degrees with no insulation in the building. We're doing air pockets for the walls. We didn't insulate the walls or the floor. Eventually we're going to insulate the skirting for the flooring on the outside of the cabin. We left the air pockets in the wall. Due to the size of the cabin, it's so small, and we're putting in a wood burning stove, we are going to insulate our roof once we buy the beadboard to put up the tongue and groove on the roof. But we decided not to insulate the walls because the birch plywood paneling that we put up is I think we bought 1/2 inch thick. It's either a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch thick birch plywood. So between the two, between the exterior paneling and the inside of the walls, you've got some thick amount of wood, and we're going to seal it up and just utilize the air pocket space. I did that strictly thinking in the sense that when we get that firebox kicking, the Dickinson here puts out about 8,000 BTUs, which is going to be really warm in that small of a space. This puts out about 6,000 to 8,000 BTUs, whether it's on low or high. Great little product. In the meantime, you might have some chilly spots, so I highly recommend. I absolutely love this product. I've never used one until this year, and it's the Zippo hand warmer. This thing could save your life. You fill it with lighter fluid. It's got a catalytic wick mechanism, so it doesn't create a flame. You fill it with lighter fluid, light it. This thing will burn for 18 hours. You put it in this little pouch, throw it in your pocket, keeps your hands nice and warm. It's so small, you can fit this anywhere. Back pocket, in your pants pocket, in your glove box, your bug out bag. I'm gonna pick up a couple more of these. If you're in a situation where you break down and it's winter and you're stranded, you wrap a wool blanket around you, set this in your lap, and you're gonna be warm. If you're camping, light it up, throw it in your sleeping bag. It's kind of like the concept of the old bed warmers that they used to use in castles. Really neat little thing. It'll help knock that extra chill off. But the two biggest necessities: the mini solar panel that folds up. Don't waste your time on the little keychain ones that you see. Those are not going to work. It's not going to charge your phone. If anything, you're going to end up overheating your device by leaving it in the sunlight. This is basically the exact same thing that you would buy from Goal Zero, except it was $30 and not several hundred. Basically, you get this and a jumper power pack at Walmart for either the Duracell one or whatever brand you want to get. Harbor Freight sells one too. A little booster pack that's got a built-in inverter on it. You can get them from anywhere from $40 to $99. You get that and this, and you basically have the Yeti Goal Zero entire system. But for $30 and a $100 car booster, so for $150, you are off the grid. You can run small appliances, you can charge your phones, you can charge iPads, you can run LED lights. Invaluable. And as you can see, this will fit easily into any bag. This will fit into pockets of any bag, or it will fit in your pants pocket. Now, I do find this works best. You can just hold it, but if you keep it in your coat pocket, it gets hot. This thing, it burns at about 100 degrees. So it's warm. So if you were to put this in your sleeping bag, it would definitely keep you warm all night. And it burns for $18, or it burns for 18 hours on roughly about 3 tablespoons of lighter fluid. And you can't beat that. These cost about $12. So you got $12, $69, and then roughly about $30 to $50 on the All Powers solar panel. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope that some of this proves useful for you. I highly suggest these products. They've worked great for me. I'm not sponsored by any of these guys, so I'm not getting paid. This is just my opinion. And until next time, this is Charles from Our Tiny Cabin Project. Catch you later.